why aren't we taught this stuff? This works. This works for sure.
I'm Leon Kolaski, and I'm here with Crystal. And today we're going to share a little bit of kind of her miracle story in working with me with some of the energy tools that I use. So, Crystal, thank you for being here and sharing your story.
Definitely. Well, Leon, first, I'd like to thank you so much for allowing me to be part of your program. I learned a lot. So I was in a place in my life where, I had just gone through a health matter. In 2023, I had a stroke, which was just for me and like everyone around me was like, unbelievable. I had a personal trainer, I'm working, just happy, just everything seemed to be going well and just everything's going great. Suddenly, I wake up one morning with a really bad headache, try to get out of bed, I fall, thinking maybe it's something I had the night before because I attended a wedding. And I just, the whole day I just kind of laid in bed. I had painkillers, just hoping the painkillers would make the headache go away. By the end of the night, my partner said, this is just not right. This is not like you. I was in the bed the entire day, and he decided to call the ambulance. So I went to the hospital, and they put me in for emergency surgery, indicating I had a stroke. And the most important thing with a stroke is that you have to catch it right away. And apparently there's I'm no doctor, an injection that they can give you and to stop the clotting. But in my case, it was such like a scary case. It's like, we gotta shave my head, do this emergency like brain surgery, where they remove half my skull. It's called a craniotomy. And so I'm trying to tell the story without hysterical crying. But yeah, so they do the surgery, and I'm in the hospital. And so it's like just literally, how the saying goes, it's like your life can change just literally overnight. And that changed my life completely. So one of the tools I need in my career is my voice. And so I was slurring for a really long time. I lost the left side of my mobility, so I couldn't walk well. And so I could not move my fingers, my hands, my arms, any of that. So I was in a really bad place when I met Leon. And so when I met Leon, I was in a place where I had recovered from the left side immobility, and hair started to grow back. I was starting to walk and drive and all of that. So now it's in a place kind of soul searching. Why did this happen to me? Where it's just like so day after day, I can't get out of the bed, and then finding out from the doctors that there's a condition called post-stroke fatigue. That's kind of what they categorized me with. So I was just at my wits end, and I just didn't know what else to do because, the doctors just said, listen, sleep is healing your brain, just sleep. Well, sure, if you don't have a career, if you're not, you have to get back to life. You can't just sleep. How long am I gonna sleep? So now I'm looking for answers, and this is when I came across Leon online. I just completely obsessed myself with YouTube, watching, documentaries and interviews and podcasts about people that survived traumatic kind of life things, and particularly people that had near-death experiences. And then someone mentioned energy healing. So of course I went right into Google and I started to research what is energy healing, something I never heard of. And then I came across Leon Kolaski, just like this world-renowned energy healer. I'm like, that's what I need. And I'm so grateful that the divine led me to you, because from the first conversation I just immediately felt like, okay, this is where I need to be. I felt similar to therapy, that I was being heard, and that this was something, if I stayed consistent with it, then I would be healed in some way. And so what I noticed right from the beginning is that I started to feel that I needed to play a part in my healing by way of my mindset. And so what's beautiful about Leon is that there's another aspect of energy healing when you work with you, is that there's a life coach that works with you as well. And I already was kind of there mentally that, you know what, I need to take my health and my exhaustion into my own hands, and figure out why, I'm feeling sad. Why am I in a place where I want to get back to who I was before? What was so great about who I was before the stroke? What was so good about that? Is it maybe this is who I'm here to be? So it was like from day one, I just felt that I was starting to realize what needs to be done for me to get better, in the sense. And one thing, I cry a lot, and Leon just lets me.
I want to talk a little bit about like the condition you were in when we first met, because I remember,
Okay.
one of the big things you had mentioned, was your speech. Like, I think you were only able to put like 2-3 words together,
Yes.
at a time. Even just your cognition, was nowhere near, what it is now. And there's still even more room, for improvement, but like
Yes.
vastly different, having a conversation with you.
Yes, I remember just the first conversation. I mean, I would, and this is feedback I've even gotten from people, is that I would speak and run out of steam very quickly. And so it was still like the exhaustion, like I would feel like I'm too tired to continue this conversation. And that was it was just a very scary time in my life, because we need to be able to communicate. And especially in my chosen career, is communication very important. And then also in terms of sleeping, I would just get a lot of anxiety over falling asleep, and just everything I was going through, just feeling just what is life, and not understanding what really happened. And so I started to use the tools that Leon provided, and just being consistent and just following everything that he's said to do. That's what really helped me, and just following a routine. So every day, start getting ready for bed by following these steps Leon has given us, and then go to sleep. Then I would sleep peacefully, sometimes a little too peacefully, because then getting up in the morning wasn't so easy. So, and I was able to have those conversations with you and your team, and work that out, where now I'm so much better. That's stressful enough working, as an attorney, and having clients and demands, but then you have the demands of working for someone. And so during this time, I was able to actually leave my job and go on my own, which was just something you think about it maybe in the back of your mind, but I took the step and was able to do that. And I believe the healing helped me realize and focus on what's important to me. What do I need for my life? And the anxiety and stress that I was feeling, it's almost non-existent.
So, what would you want to tell somebody that maybe has something that they're dealing with, that maybe the medical system or stuff out there, what they're currently doing is not working, regardless of what it is? What would you want to tell them if they're thinking about looking at working with?
Yeah, 100%. This is something I feel like this should be just part of your recovery plan, and I believe that a lot of the stress and anxiety and maybe depression that we feel is because our energy has to be realigned, and that's where Leon comes in to get you back aligned. And just to speak to him, it's like, he gives you the confidence that you're going to be okay. So that's what's been just beautiful about this whole experience, is that I just trusted the process, and here I am today, and just feeling so much better than I felt when I first met you. So I'm very grateful. Thank you so much.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and thank you for sharing your story. My goal here is just to be able to inspire others, so there's other options out there, that they don't have to be the way that maybe they were told that things need to be. Things can look much different. So with that being said, is there anything else that you'd like to share?
People will start to notice, a difference, because you don't always, because it's you don't always feel that things are working. Sometimes it's like, outside people will notice and ask, well, what are you doing? And there's so many people that ask me, like, since I saw you a week ago, your face is maybe brighter. You seem to have more energy, and a lot of compliments, things that I didn't even realize. And I was like, yes, yeah, yes. And I started to give myself more credit for staying with the program, and being very grateful. So it definitely works, for sure, for sure. And so I would definitely suggest anyone that's even thinking about this type of healing to go for it. It's something that I'll always attribute to the person I will continue to become, or the person I've become. And so it's very important. It's there's no reason not to do this. This works. This works for sure. Like, why aren't we taught this stuff? There's so many, think about all the things in life where you learn later in life, and you say, man, if I knew that sooner, if I did this sooner, then I wouldn't be maybe in a different place. So don't wait.
I so appreciate you sharing your story. I wish I had the original call that we did, taped. I don't think I do. But just to see your transformation, over the last, really just a short period of time, just a couple months,
Yeah.
to go from where you were to where you're at now. It's
Right.
part of the reason why I do this work, and to take the time to share these stories is really for other people. It's definitely not for me.
Yes.
It's to help others and show them what's possible for themselves. So
I'm so grateful. It's great. So like you said, no better time than now, for sure.